Hello, potato. It's that time of the afternoon. I'm feeling draggy, which means it must be time for a tea break. And today we're gonna go back to a brand I've tried before in the past and quite liked, but this is a new, or new to me, variety of it, and that is our friends at J-Basket. Previously we did a brown sugar boba tea from them, and oddly, probably one of the most popular videos I've ever done. I don't know why, but we're going back to J-Basket again because now I found they have a matcha flavored version. Instant boba kit, ready to drink in just 45 seconds is a thing which is not even remotely true, as you will see as we progress on this video. What it refers to there is that's how long it takes to microwave it once you've put everything together to heat that boba up, because unlike other types of instant boba, this is not refrigerated or frozen. These are shelf stable, which is kind of nice, but it does mean that you have to put maybe a little bit more work into the boba than you would otherwise. To be fair, the frozen boba needs to be microwaved as well, so it's not that big of a difference. So what do you get in this matcha instant boba tea kit? You get 3 packets of milk tea powder. You get 3 packets of boba pearls. You get 3 disposable straws to make 3 servings of boba tea. Now, if I can turn it on, not turning it onto its front. So yeah, it's basic. 150 mils of hot water, doesn't specify boiling. I just kind of heated it up to where you would heat it for green tea brewing, but I happen to have 150 mils of hot water right there ready to go. You need some boba pearls. Then we do need to leave the void space to go to the void kitchen and microwave it for 45 seconds. And then we'll pour it over 10 ounces of ice cubes. Now see, this is the 45 seconds. That's what it's referring to. That's not counting the time it takes to heat the water up to start with, not counting mixing times, pouring times. So it's not really ready in 45 seconds. That's an abject lie. But that doesn't mean it's still quick. It's still convenient. It's still gonna get you a nice, well, hopefully nice, matcha milk tea in less than, 5 minutes maybe. I feel like 5 minutes is more realistic. Okay, so we've got 1 of each packet out. The rest of this can go away for future caffeinated enjoyment. Well, maybe it can go away if I can get it in the box. I really apparently need this caffeine today because I'm having trouble doing just basic things like put things back in a box. So we've got a straw, we've got a boba, we've got some powder. First step is to mix the powder into the hot water, which admittedly is maybe not super hot anymore, but keep in mind that I'm going to microwave it next. So that's not necessarily that big of a deal. As long as it's hot enough for the matcha to dissolve in, it's got a nice green to it, doesn't it? Somebody had asked me on the original, the brown sugar from J-Basket, could you make this with milk? And I suppose you could, but keep in mind there is milk powder already in your matcha here. Yep, there's that nice swamp water green you get with matcha milk tea. It's very unattractive, let's be honest. It may taste good, but it doesn't look good. What are the ingredients in this? So, matcha milk powder, yeah, sugar, non-dairy cream. So it's not really milk, it's non-dairy creamer. So it's coffee creamer. You're making this with coffee creamer. So could you add milk to it? Yeah, I suppose you could. As long as you aren't going to mess the milk up in the microwave, I don't see why you couldn't. But it'll make it very creamy, I would think, if you did. So our boba in here is not dry. There is a syrup on it. You can feel it squishing around. You can't feel it squishing around, but I can feel it squishing around in here as I move it. You may be able to see the liquid a little bit on camera there. I can sort of see the shadow of it through the plastic, but let's open it up. And yeah, so you have like a brown sugary syrup in here. I think these are probably the same pearls as the brown sugar tea. They certainly do taste like it. So now these go into our hot water. Everybody out. No stragglers. If you lag behind, you may not need to volunteer. All right. So everything's in there. You can see there it goes. All right, so now I'm going to go microwave this for 45 seconds. So I'll see you back here in, a minute or so. Be right back. All right, I am back with our 45-second cooked boba and matcha milk tea. Now I can tell you just by stirring it, the boba feels softer and lighter, just in the way it rubs against each other. It's not as dense as it was, which I think is fairly normal for microwaved instant boba. Which means that all that's left to do is to pour it over 10 ounces of ice. And that is exactly 10 ounces of ice because I weighed it. So we've got our ice, we've got our tea. It definitely took more than 45 seconds because, again, that's how long it takes to microwave it. You have other stuff to do ahead of time. Another question I was asked is about the hot water. Does it need to be boiling? I don't know. Again, it doesn't say. I'm reading you the instructions as they are written. I think when I made the first ones, the brown sugar tea, I did boil the water. This time, I did it to, I think 175. I did it to the amount that my kettle says to do for green tea, because it's a matcha. But I think ultimately, as long as it's hot enough for your tea powder to melt in there or to dissolve, you're probably going to be fine because you are going to microwave it for 45 seconds. And it's not a lot of water, so you're going to heat it up pretty well in that 45 seconds. I mean, adding in the boba, took it from 150 mils to about 225. So it's about 75 milligrams of boba and boba sauce in there. So let's pour it over our ice. They seem to turn a little brown, but I think it's because the syrup, the sauce in the boba is brown. So it made it a little browner. So I'm pouring it over our 10 ounces of ice. I think this glass will be just about the right size. There we go. So there we have our milk tea. I'm gonna open up our disposable straw here and just give it all a good stir. I want to get that tea good and cold. I want to get that boba dispersed in there so that it looks nice for the picture. I want to turn this back around so that if there's a still shot of this at some point, it looks nice and advertising. Even though this won't be the thumbnail, I want something that looks good like a thumbnail. That looks like a thumbnail, doesn't it? If I put a red circle and an arrow on it, this would get 1 million views. But I won't, and it won't. All right, so the straw's maybe a little short for this cup. That is a little unfortunate, although it does float nicely. I think I've gotten some boba. Also, I've already got some boba in the straw here. Let's try some of the boba just on its own first. Oh, that was a mistake. There was tea trapped in there with the boba. And let's just clean that up. And I feel like the boba probably could have gone for a little bit longer. It's still a little rubbery. Normally, when I've had that happen with the frozen boba, if I nuke it just a little bit longer, or I'm mixing it into a hot tea and letting it just sit there, it seems to solve it. This one's a little chewy. A little chewier than I would say I would normally like, but not bad. Certainly not as bad as those crystal boba or the ones in the canned teas. Let's try it all together though. Not bad. I got a lot of boba in there. So if I can just try to get some of the tea. It is definitely less sweet than the brown sugar was. It's a little thick. It's not bad, but the tea is a little bit thicker than I would normally expect. Maybe that's something to do with the non-dairy creamer. The matcha flavor is not particularly strong. It's weaker than I would expect if I'd gotten a matcha milk tea at a tea shop, at a Teddy Boba or a Quickly or something. It's subtle. It's not very strong, which means depending on your opinion of matcha, that might be a good thing, because too much matcha flavor can be a little overpowering. But say it's not as strongly matcha flavored as that dirty mocha I got from the robot, the coffee robot, Artley. It's not as strongly flavored as that. It's a little thick, not overly sweet, not overly green tea flavored, but not bad. I would not say that it's as good as the brown sugar tea. I like the brown sugar one better, but it's not bad. I would consider getting it again, but it probably wouldn't be my first choice if I wanted something matcha flavored. But overall, yeah, not bad. So that said, I am going to go finish my hopefully it gives me the caffeine boost, because that's sort of the point. With all that said, though, I'm going to go finish my tea break here. And I hope you found it at all interesting or entertaining. If you did, go ahead, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.